Sellassie, what is the Stop Hatin in the Bay campaign?
Well, the Stop Hatin in the Bay campaign is more of like a song. It's a movement. It's kind of like a way of life, how you can like train your brain to stop hating on things, you know. I made it because I come from San Francisco, and a lot of the artists that are around in the scene don't really listen to each other like they should. So I feel that you have a lot of cats that hate on something before they actually listen to it, and that's where the song was inspired, you know, to first listen and to really take the essence of the independent spirit that inspired us all to not just benefit you, but to also have it benefit everyone. So that's been my mission since I've gotten into the game professionally since 2008, to create opportunities and to listen to other artists. And that's why it's worked out for me, because they listen to me because I listen to them. So a lot of the times you hate what you don't understand, and some of the worst atrocities in mankind have happened because of that, and it's definitely affected hip-hop by speculating on what somebody's doing or what you think they're doing, and you actually haven't talked to them and you actually haven't listened to them. So, you know, if you already start from there, it's destruction from the jump. But you can listen to somebody and you might dig them and become a fan, or you can listen to somebody and actually not like it and accept the fact that there's room for everybody in the game. And I think if everybody had that mentality, then everybody would be thriving and everybody would be in a situation to where they'd be winning and nobody would be hating.
You produced hundreds of events in the last few years. What was the inspiration behind the 2 Racks Rap Contest and the We All We Got Independent Artist Concert Series?
Yeah, well, I created those because when I first got into the game in 2008, there weren't opportunities for me that were genuine. As far as like somebody wanting to get at me and I could get into the game because I was good or because I could rap, you know, that wasn't what was important, you know. And I think that I learned that very early on in my career, that it wasn't important that I could rap. It was more important on how I was able to expose myself, market myself, promote myself, get myself in front of people and to gain fans and to gain recognition for what I was doing. And so when I came into the game, it was a door shut because people didn't want that. You know, sometimes people have different intentions and don't have the best intentions when it comes to you or your dreams or what you want to do. And so I felt that frustration where, man, nobody's giving me any opportunities. I can't do anything. I can't showcase what I do. So me being who I am, I've never let that ever affect me. So me being who I am, I always created my own. So that was the inspiration to create the 2 Racks Rap Contest and the We All We Got Independent Artist Concert Series. And in the process, you know, I booked everybody that you can think of. You know, there's not too many artists that I haven't booked in the Bay Area or around the country, to that matter, that didn't want to take advantage of the opportunities that we provided because they were genuine and they felt that it would benefit them and intentions were good. And that's always what you want when you're doing something in this game, is to have good intentions and deal with people who have good intentions. So I wouldn't have been able to produce over 150 events, you know, in over 10 different states if it wasn't genuine and from the heart. And that's where it has to start. You know, a lot of the artists don't really understand the business, and ultimately the business swallows them. And it's a good lesson that I teach artists to first be a businessman first, or a businesswoman, and then be a rapper, even on a small level, or you can look at it on a small level compared to the huge conglomerate of the industry, you know. So it's lessons to be learned in everything that I do, you know, from the streets to the industry.
Tell us about the Undiscovered Tour.
Well, the Undiscovered Tour is a new venture that I'm going to do that's going to be huge. Basically promoting, marketing, exposing, and showcasing this plethora of talent that I have, that I know. You know, I know millions of artists, and I connect with thousands of artists. So I'm not like in a box of 10 artists. You know, that's very important if you're going to be dealing with this hip-hop, to realize the levels of hip-hop. And I'm in a level of hip-hop that nobody's really dealing with right now, you know, that nobody's really taking a serious interest in right now. And I am, and I have been. And it's because they are me, I am them. We're independent artists. And independent artists, if you stand together, and you have the genuinity of trying to, you know, make things right, pursue each other's career, you know, get each other fans, get each other to the next level, get each other heard. Because I know some artists that are just undiscovered, that haven't been heard yet, that is just dope, that's destroying cats in the mainstream. And like I say, it's room for everything, but if you really want to have a comparative, you know, and compare talent or compare, you know, stage presence, originality, lyrics, you know, you can have a say that the artists that I'm dealing with are in the same breadth of the artists that are discovered, but they just haven't been discovered yet. So I'm kind of like in that same bracket, and I am in that same bracket to where, you know, I'm undiscovered, but at the same time, when people discover me, I become a star. No, but for real though, you know, that's the intention and the motivation and what we're doing with this tour. And it's positive hip-hop. It's positive, progressive, articulate, ambitious, motivated, inspiring, you know, type of hip-hop. So it's not street, gangster, sell dope to your people, Ku Klux Klan, kill each other, negative, violent, aggressive, antagonistic, condescending rap. No, none of that. So we really about to make some noise with this, and I look forward to everybody that's going to be on the tour getting out there and becoming discovered. Because once you get in front of people and they see you, in my opinion, you become discovered, and it's up to you to take advantage of that.
We've heard you speak on the crab in the bucket mentality before in some of your other videos. What's your message to the naysayers, the so-called haters out there?
Well, I like to always put it in perspective that, you know, they hated Jesus, you know, so I know they gonna hate me. You know, they strung Jesus up on a cross, or, you know, or 2 sticks, and put nails in his hands and crossed him up there and crucified him and slandered him and made him look like he was bad. And his whole intention, like I said, his whole intention was to so-called bring humanity together and to get, you know, the evil out of men, and that killed him ultimately, you know. And I felt it killed Tupac Shakur. I felt it killed a lot of the revolutionaries and the people who care about humanity, from not just from my people like Malcolm X, Martin Luther, Medgar Evers, you know, the list goes on and on. People who really care about humanity and care about the people. So I know that I'm up against that. But, you know, if they hated on Jesus when he was alive and when he passed, and then 300 years later became to worship him, you know, that shows me a lot. You know, I'm a history major. I'm not necessarily this guy got this alarm going on. I'm a history major as far as, you know, being self-made and self-educated. So the last 2,000 years, I could name millions of examples of revolutionaries and people who made change in the world that were hated on and ultimately persecuted. And like today, I just got my first piece of tabloid press. You know, people around me kind of were tripping like, man, you should be sad. But nah, when you get press, you know, whether it's good or bad, it definitely shows that you're doing something right, or maybe even wrong, but in this case, right. So, you know, recognition from the press and naysayers and stuff like that is almost a compliment to what you're doing. It means that you're doing something. It means that you're doing something, because if you're not doing nothing, nobody's tripping on what you're doing, because you're doing nothing. So, and a lot of the times the haters, they don't even talk to you, you know, in person. You know, they speak from afar. They never really come in front of you, because I'm always I'm in the streets. I'm not in the streets. So I bump into a lot of cats that say things when they say it, and they never bring it to where they want to bring it, you know, on any level, because I'm willing to take it how you want to take it. I definitely prefer the non-violent way, but, you know, I'm like the eagle on the dollar, you know. I'm facing the olive branch, but I got them arrows in the other hand, prepare for war. So, you know, when you come with that perspective, and you come from a peaceful perspective, and you're trying to dodge the devil, and you're trying to dodge people that are trying to, you know, destroy the earth and destroy things, then you can be humble, and you can stay away from that. So I don't really trip on that, because I was raised with the RBL saying that 10% love me and 90% hate me, but the 10% that love me is strapped with an AK. Believe that. So I come from the cloth, baby.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much. And everybody go to SelassieFrisco.com. Don't leave it up to a hater to tell you about me. You can find me and you can talk to me, because when I get to where I'm trying to get, where I'm about to go in my life, with all the things that I'm doing, you know, I know who's been there for me, and I know who ride with me, and I know who not. So holla at your boy.